What's up everybody, and welcome back. I found a fantastic dark action manga that you'll just have to excuse the name for because it sounds like something it's not. Today I'm recommending Abandoned, the hero who's so strong he breaks every weapon, and the elf Weaponsmith, which is being made by Iwata Naoya. It's 18 chapters and is an action, adventure, fantasy, magic. So the story starts with the elf Weaponsmith Carrie finishing forging a sword only for her father to snap it in half and say nobody needs this junk. I know it sounds harsh and like it's about her smith abilities, but it's because nobody needs weapons anymore specifically. Instead, everyone uses magic, but Carrie hates magic because with it she can forge a sword instantly and there's no art in it. Her father Bambu the dwarf gets mad at her again for forging a sword, so she runs away to become the greatest weaponsmith. And just for clarity, Carrie isn't a dark elf, she's half elf, half dwarf. I know she looks kind of like a dark elf, but she's not. So Carrie goes into the city where it's the 1000th year anniversary of the day the hero defeated the Demon King. The hero being Harold, the hero of the end, who always destroyed the weapons he used because he was so powerful. But during this celebration, Carrie sets up her weapons stall to try and sell what she's made, but there is absolutely no interest because it's not magic related. Being depressed about it, Carrie thinks it would be better if the Demon King came back so that her weapons could have value, and is overheard by a hooded figure who agrees with her and says they have a mission for her before casting a magic spell that opens up the ground before just saying best of luck as she falls into darkness and wakes up in what looks like another world. All of her stuff is destroyed on impact, which leaves her depressed until she notices a cursed ore that sucks away some of your lifespan if you touch it. Being half elf, it's worth it to her as she can't deny the value as a weaponsmith. But as soon as she pulls it out, she's surrounded by death hounds that went extinct after Demon King times. Carrie can't fight, so she runs away until she falls into a crater and finds a man chained up. Carrie asks if he's alive before he says something she can't hear and gets attacked by the death hounds again. Not wanting to die and responding to the guy's request, she uses her magic to forge a weapon from the cursed ore, which gets the guy really hyped because with it, he says he can kill them. He breaks free from his chains without any issue before a giant monster that was chained up with him gets set free. And with one swing, he completely erases the monster, so only its bones are left before the weapon breaks apart in his hands. Because as you may have guessed, the guy she ran into is the hero Harold. It's a long 53-page first chapter, but after it, I was sold. But unfortunately, I can't give you an overview of the rest of the chapters because there's just a lot that happens in them. So I'm just going to answer some questions I would think someone may have without spoiling anything. Honestly, because I can't, because most of the questions you or I may have are unanswered. So the place they're in is a place called Abandoned, and it's said to be a different dimension separated by time and space that is only accessible through incredibly high levels of magic. So I think it's kind of like a shadow world of the world they come from, because even though it's dark and dangerous and whatever, it's not actually like a hell or separate world entirely. I mean, it is a separate world, but it's not based off of principles of a different world, if that makes sense. This isn't like an isekai kind of situation. Maybe more kind of like a Waco Mundo kind of thing. I don't really know how to describe it, but it's not so separate that it's a completely different thing, but it is, if that makes sense. If it doesn't, that's fine. It really hasn't been clarified or answered yet. So I also have no idea how Harold got there, or how time works in Abandoned, if time exists there, or if Harold is really just 1,000+ years old at this point, because time in Abandoned is another question that is left unanswered. But there are other people that exist and live in Abandoned, but it seems everyone who is there was purposefully sent sent there. It doesn't seem like it's a place anyone accidentally stumbles upon, but it really just seems like a place people are sent to, I'm guessing just to get rid of them. So maybe there are people who were born there just because of time, but so far it doesn't seem like anything is a native species of abandoned. Maybe the demons are, I'm not sure, because there are some in abandoned too, but whether or not abandoned is their origin, that has left to be answered. So basically this story is about Carrie making weapons for Harold as he tries to find and I imagine kill the Demon King or stop his revival, which means that they were both sent to abandoned. Why? I don't know. And by who? I don't know, because I'm not sure if Harold can use magic to begin with, which means he may have been sent there and whoever sent Carrie there was waiting for Carrie to come around so they could send Carrie there so that she could be there to forge the weapon to kill the Demon King. So there may be some time travel, timeline element thing to this story as well. So it may have been a future Harold that sends Carrie into abandoned, but again, I'm not sure if he can use magic. It seems like he can because of his extreme strength, but so far we haven't seen him use any kind of spell or do anything magical, which is really one of the best parts of this, because I know the name makes it sound like Harold is an OP beast, and he is as long as he has a weapon, but he's so powerful that he can only use it once before it breaks. So while he can seemingly one-shot anything, he also only has one shot, which means Carrie is the most important person to him because she can make a weapon out of anything instantly. I absolutely love this concept because usually you get a massively OP character that, weapon or not, is still OP, and the story would be about crafting a weapon that can't break, where this is a story about survival because Harold is the ultimate glass cannon. If he doesn't have a weapon, he can't fight, and it seems like he doesn't have freakish strength without a weapon either. Now, he does have crazy endurance, like one part he survived some pretty wild injuries, but he literally can't fight without a weapon, which is such a nerve, but gives the story real stakes, and this story is all about stakes. Again, I know from the name you would assume it to be one way, most likely a story of an OP character that's lighthearted, but other than Carrie being funny, there's no lightheartedness found in this. It's pretty dark and seemingly will be very violent. At least the depictions of violence that has happened so far, I don't think I could ever show, and that makes this even more fantastic. It's a dark action fantasy that has a very interesting story so far that is surrounded by intriguing questions. I love it. Carrie is a chipper sort of character, and really the comic relief, not so much by action or shenanigans, but really just by how she's drawn in her responses. And Harold is the complete opposite. He's emotionless in every way. He doesn't have an expression except excitement when he gets a weapon sometimes, and seemingly anger, which is another great part of the story because the legend says that he was a very kind and compassionate person. I don't know if he's become the way he's become because of the time or because of distortion of his image due to time. Maybe we'll find that out later, but he has had moments where he has been nice and compassionate, but it's only been like 2 times, and it's all been done with a straight face that looks like he's sick and tired of everybody. So I'm not so sure, but I do know that I love this manga so far. I think it's fantastic, and every chapter has just reinforced it by usually adding more complexity and questions to what's going on, character motivations, and where this story is going. So I'm just hoping that a few answers start being sprinkled into the next few chapters, mostly to give the story a bit more shape and direction. Not that it doesn't have any right now, but just so there's a bit more clarity of at least what abandoned really is and why Carrie was sent there, because the person said they had a mission for her, but they never said anything, so who knows. Regardless, I'm loving this manga. I think it's really cool and interesting, and it's not a romance, so win-win, because you need some breaks from romance sometimes. But if this looks interesting to you, check it out, and like the video and subscribe to the channel, and if you want more recommendations, check out the Why You Should playlist linked below. Other than that, I'll see all of you in the next one.